Welcome to this little mini training on instructional accommodations. This is just some basic information that you need to know if you have a child that has an IEP. Every child that has an IEP has some sort of instructional accommodation. So this is just some basic information that you need to know. It certainly does not encompass and incorporate everything to know about accommodations, but it's a really good start. So let's talk first about what are accommodations. So accommodations are a change in how students are accessing information and how they're showing what they're learning in class. So it does not change, accommodations do not change the content. It doesn't change the instructional level. It does not change the overall expectation, but it does allow students to complete an assignment or a task differently than other students. So it might give them an opportunity to, have a change in setting, to change the length of time that something might need to happen. It changes scheduling if we need to, and we'll talk more about that. It also changes the way children can respond to their learning and present the knowledge that they've learned. So accommodations really are designed to provide equity when children are accessing grade level content. Accommodations are not meant to give students an extra advantage or to give them a leg up, but it really just helps to level that playing field to make sure that they have an equitable access to their grade level content. It's really important to remember that accommodations do not change the expectation of learning grade level content at that grade level instructional level. When we make adjustments to the expectation, those are modifications and not accommodations. And I'll talk about that another time. So how do we determine accommodations? So accommodations are not anyone's personal opinion. We always base the determination of accommodations on the present level of performance of a student. So that takes into consideration, what are they learning in class? How are they accessing the information? How are they accessing content? What are some of the barriers that keep them from accessing content in a way that makes sense to them? What are they able to do independently? And then once we have accommodations established, how do we evaluate how effective they are? So let's chat for a minute on how they are adjusted or changed. So remember, accommodations are not anyone's personal opinion. When you sit down with the IEP team at the table, it is always based on data. We use data to drive decisions when it comes to determining accommodations, whether adjusted, changed, or eliminated completely because the student is having success. So when data is collected, the IEP team is going to reconvene and they're going to take a look at what accommodations are being provided right now and what needs to change. So based on that data that was collected, the IEP will be amended and then the accommodations are updated. It's critically important to understand this is really for parents. Parents, you are an integral part of the IEP team. Decisions about accommodations should not be made without you because you are part of the team. And if you have input into what you think is working at home in terms of what you accommodate for homework and work that your child is doing at home, that is all something that gets taken into consideration. That's part of data. Again, you are an integral part of the IEP team. No decisions should be made without you. So how do we teach children how to use their accommodations? Because this is important. When we teach children how to use their accommodations, it's going to, number one, grow independence, number two, grow confidence, and number three, it's going to eliminate the need for someone to be attached to that child all the time to remind them to use accommodations. So if we can teach children how to use their accommodations in an explicit and systematic way, it's a benefit for everyone. So what I mean quite simply by explicit and systematic instruction, whoever is showing the child how to use their accommodation, they're modeling how to use that. So if it's something, some type of classroom assistive technology, speech to text, text to speech, keeping it as simple as that, the teacher is going to model how to do that. They're going to guide and support the student through using that that support or that tool, and then they'll release the child to go ahead and to do that independently. It's really important that students know what their accommodations are and how to use them. So all these visuals right here are just some examples of ways that we can accommodate students. So whether it's through active play, some kind of tactile or kinesthetic way that they're going to learn, through some kind of technology or a visual schedule or a checklist or movement or a schedule, a graphic organizer. These are all excellent examples of different types of accommodations that would be beneficial to children. So I know that this was very, very quick, very, very fast. It was just an overall basic overview of what accommodations are and what they might look like. I'll be doing some other short videos that break down presentation type accommodations, response type accommodations, setting, and scheduling. So stay tuned for those. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and email me down there at dj@inclusivology.com. I'm happy to help answer any questions. And again, I hope this was helpful. See you soon.